grade. But besides being a science student in the 8th grade at Metrolina Regional Scholars Academy in Charlotte, North Carolina, she's also getting a 4-year college degree in Hindustani classical music. She's very excited and motivated by science because she feels like science can help the world. The world is already in reach for this 13-year-old. When she was visiting India, where her dad grew up, she noticed a problem not long ago. When she saw how much bay gas were being wasted into sugarcane pollution, she said it was unimaginable. They actually burned it outside, and that's why children in that area got respiratory diseases, she said. Her solution was to turn the waste into renewable energy. Her project has drawn national recognition. She was recently named one of the top young scientists in this year's Broadcom Masters from the Society of Science in the Public. Keep in mind that this girl is 13 years old. After school, she hopes to go into a career in nanomedicine. So, it is to Bhavani Hobble that we dedicate tonight's pledge. Would you please stand? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May God bless Ms. Hobble, and may God bless all young scientists, and may God bless America. Well, I hope I made it through all that. Back to you, W7AZC, K4BU.
Node 3376584.
Hey, K4BU, W7AZC, we got 100%. Good job. Looks like we lost Al out of the list there. I sent him a message. Well, hopefully he'll get back, get reconnected back up with us. And, I see we have another in there. Let's add Mr. Lynn here on the list now. With that, any additional check-ins before we get the net started? Nothing heard. I still don't see Al back on the list here, but we're going to keep them in the rotation. So our first up is going to be K4BU. Then it goes to Gary N7DND. Then it will go to Bill WA4DDH. Bill, please pass it over to Al KD2PNR if he reconnects. And Al will pass it to Adam, N4NT. And Adam, you'll pass it to Lynn, K7HAM. And with that, any additional check-ins? Alright, nothing heard, and Al's reconnected back up. Al, you will pass it to N4NT Adam. And let's see, our topic tonight, I was looking around and I came across this, and I don't know why I haven't come across it yet, but I just did. But I want to talk about the new FTDX10. It is, looks like it's about the same size, approximately, of a FTDX 3000. It's kind of a smaller version of the new FTDX 101. But like the FTDX 101, it will utilize the Yaesu hybrid or more, and the third order intermodulating dynamic range reaches 109 dB in the 14 megahertz band at 2 kilohertz separation. Check out the radio. Looks like it'll be a nice little addition, especially for portable operations or someone that doesn't have a lot of room. This could be a good little radio for you. That 5-inch screen, it's bigger than the ICOM 7300, bigger than the FTDX 3000. It looks like a pretty neat radio there. That's all I have for tonight. But, my radio falling on the keyboard came up with a whole weird looking call sign. One more time, any additional check-ins before we go down the list? Nothing heard. Oh, and the price range is going to be, looks like $1,699. $1,700. This looks like when it's going to be running. At least that's what it showed, I think, on both Gigaparts and HRO, but it is not out yet. They're probably going to wait a little closer to Christmas. So with that, Mr. K4PU, take it away, sir.
Thank you, Sean. W7AZC and the net K4PU. It looks like they may be trying to replace the FTDX 3000 with this. It's about the same price range. Maybe a little cheaper than the 3000 was, but it's basically in that price range. And it looks like the claim to fame for it is the noise elimination characteristics for people that are in noisy areas like me and Marietta here. It might be something neat, but it looks pretty interesting. 100-watt output does go down to 6 meters, so it could be the main rig in your shack if you wanted to upgrade. Looks like a pretty good radio. Of course, I'm partial to Yaesu because I've had the FTDX 3000, which a friend of mine now has, and I still have the FTDX 5000, which I love. I absolutely love that radio. I can tune in a CW station on the same frequency with another CW station and still pick them out. That's how good that radio is. I really enjoy it. Of course, I like my vacuum tube stuff too, but I do like the FTDX 5000. And don't forget the Crystal Radio contest. Right now, WA4DD8 is the only one who has completed a Crystal Radio. In fact, Bill not only built one that works and looks cool, but he got it to tune in on the amateur bands. No batteries, no electricity, no solar panels, just germanium diodes, and he's been able to get it on the amateur frequencies. I'll let you tell you folks what his goal is to use it for, because I don't want to be a spoiler alert with that. And let's see, today I had my RG213 on the repeater replaced with Heliax so I can get more output power. And I've got the repeater here in Marietta with me getting ready to make the All-Star mods. And with that, I will pass it over to my good friend Gary, who I hope is doing well. N7 don't know diddly. This is K4PU. It's all you, sir.
Good evening, Dennis. Good evening. It looks like it's a nice radio. I'm a Yaesu lover too. Of course, I like Kenwood also, but I have a 1200 that I like and I use every day for the Beehive net. And noise filters and stuff make a big difference. So that's probably where they're going is noisy areas. Of course, again, it's like we said before, it's antenna. Yes, I'm doing great, Dennis. I actually heard you guys this morning for the Breakfast Club for a few minutes, then I was gone. But you guys are doing great. So I guess I'm going to pass it over to DDH N7 DND.
Yeah, N7 D&D, and good to hear you on here, Dan, WA4DDH. Well, I'm not into any of this new stuff. That's out of my range. But I do have an original FT101, and I love it. It's still kicking. Radio's got to be 30 or 40 years old, and it just still keeps on cranking. About the only thing I've ever had to do is replace several finals and maybe a couple of caps in the power supply, but other than that, that just keeps cranking. But this new stuff, yeah, it's real sophisticated. Be my luck to get something like that and lightning would hit, that'd be all she wrote. Anyway, I won't comment much more on it because I don't know much about it. And as far as the crystal radios, yeah, I did a crystal radio design, and I made it a shortwave radio crystal radio, not the standard broadcast band that most people build to pick up broadcast. So I calculated the coils and the caps, and it works really good. And Dennis, I did send you an SD card, and you can actually see a video with it working. So with that, let me turn it over to Mr. Al, KD2PNR in the group, WA4DDH.
Okay, Bill. Very good. Thank you very much. KD2PNR, Southern New Jersey. Well, I can't say anything about the FCDX-10. I've seen the announcements for it and what have you. Not exactly sure where it's going to go, but I think Dennis might be right. It's kind of maybe a replacement for the 3000s. I have a 3000 that I use. I like it a lot for what I do. I find myself looking, there could be other radios along the road, but the next thing that I really am kind of looking for is something that gets into the 2-meter 440, kind of a somewhat enhanced 991A, especially with the VHF UHF. I'd like a good computer connection to it and all, and be able to tune and do sideband and what have you. So 991A is not a bad choice. It's a great little radio, and we may end up doing one of those someday, although for now we're doing good with what we got. We got plenty of things to get done. Managed to have a really, really nice day out there today. The weather was up and warm, about 65. It felt like 75 or 80 to us because we're used to the cold now after the last few days of really near freezing. And I had a guy come with a big bucket truck today that I got connected with via my neighbor and friend. He had a buddy that bought this truck, and he does work on the side. So this is a 60-foot bucket, and we parked it beside the shack here and started trimming the branches off of trees and going up, and he fixed up a couple of things, and I hung up 5 screw eyes while I had him put them up. After we cleared all these branches out of the way, I got 5 screw eyes spread around on different trees so I can pull up all kinds of wire antennas around here. It's going to keep me going for quite some time. Put a nice loop of Dacron rope there to pull up and down with. It's just a complete loop, tied the ends together so I can pull something up. I can pull it back down if it's not falling down. So we're going to have some fun with that, and I should be able to get my HF antenna, which came down a week or so ago. I'm going to get that back in the air here in another day or two. Anyway, that's about it for the moment, so I'll send it off to Adam. There we go. Come on, brain, don't fail me now. Adam is going to enlighten us further. So N4NT, you got it. KD2 PNR.
Well, this is N4NT. I'm not sure if I can contribute a whole lot more to the conversation. I have, of course, heard about the radio and been watching the pricing and looking at a few of the features just for curiosity's sake, because I just try to keep up with these kind of things. I don't have any intention on buying right at the moment. I've got a FT991, does everything I need it to do. I know on the HF side, of course, that radio would give me a lot better performance, and maybe one day in the future. I do want to add a second HF radio to my shack one of these days, but it's not high priority right at the moment. But it looks like a nice radio, and I think they've been having those drawings maybe on gigaparts to try to give them away, so I've been entering those. Never do win, but I know I'm guaranteed not to win if I don't enter it, so I at least throw my info in there when I think about it. But I wish they would and I guess it would be difficult to do, but wish they have the C4 FM on the two bands in the HF spectrum. You can use that on, and as far as what I'm reading, I don't see it, unless it's somewhere I missed it. But I do like the integrated, having its own sound card and being able to connect to the USB port. The only problem I have is my mixer. It identifies as a USB codec, and so does the radio. My 991 does it, so it confuses the computer. So I have to connect my mixer the old-fashioned way. Let's see. Up next was K7HAM, Lynn. So I'll pass it on. This is N4NT.
Thanks, Adam. And for NCT 7 8 on the deck. Yeah, I saw the stuff on it, and I had a jump on it because local HRO manager was on one of the nets and about it. But I got no worries with it. So, we'll see. Other than that, that's all I got for now. I'll pass it back up to you, Doc. 678 7 8 a.m.
Thank you, Lynn. And before I make my comments and stuff, is there any additional check-ins? All right, nothing heard. And I believe, I don't know about the 991, but the 991A, I believe, can do C4 FM on 10 meters. I'm not 100% sure on that. But Al, KD2PNR, you might know this, because I know on Linux there is a program on there that you can use digital, I believe, on sideband. And, oh yeah, Adam just answered that, yes, I can on 6 meters, the 991A. I believe you can do a digital voice through a Linux program. So I know that's possible. Let's see what else. There was something else I wanted to bring up. Really need to write stuff down. Let me let off this for a minute. All right, and again, Adam is running this on YouTube, so you should check out the link if you're on NetLogger. The link is right there in the AIM window, so you can check that out. If you don't have NetLogger, you can download for free at netlogger.org. Let's see, one more time, additional check-ins before we get down the list again. All right, nothing heard. I think it's going to be a neat little radio. I do not know if they're going to jump on replacing the FTDX 3000. I did notice that they updated the waterfall on the 3000 there. According to the HRO catalog, it's saying all new waterfall. I don't know if we're going to get that waterfall on a firmware update or not, or if we already have it and I just don't use it. Al, you'll probably have to enlighten me on that one. Let's see. Yeah, I use my SDR Uno as my fan adapter for the 3000, so I don't play too much with the waterfall on the radio itself. With that, our list is the same: K4BU, N7D&D, WA4DDH, KD2PNR, N4NT, K7HAM, and WA4DDH. If you can enlighten me, I'd love to know how many turns you put on there to get the shortwave area.
It's probably on my end, but there was a loud whine on your signal, but it could be on my end because I had a soldering iron going. Who knows? This is K4PU. Oh, that's about it. I had a bucket truck come up today to my cabin, and the the tower guy, who's also a ham radio operator and a big C4 FM enthusiast, got up on my OptiBeam 17-element HF antenna. We had 70-mile-an-hour winds when that last big storm came through, and it actually, even though they had lock nuts and lock washers on it, it actually shook it so bad that the nuts worked off of 3 of the 40-meter elements, and they were just barely hanging up there. So he put some Loctite on it and tightened it all up and reoriented it, ran the heliax for the repeater, and put up another dipole for me about 100 feet in the air. So I've got a 100 feet up dipole. I'm anxious to see how that's going to work. Anyway, that's it from this end, and I will say 73 to everybody. Have a wonderful weekend. You guys jump on All-Star over the weekend. We'll be there, and I'll send it over to Gary, N7DND, and K4PU. 73, everybody.
Thank you, Dennis. I heard the noise, too. I think it was on Sean's end. Hope you used the red stuff this time, Dennis, so it doesn't come off. I've done, sometimes I put Loctite on and used the wrong stuff and not been able to get stuff off. I did it first today. I'm changing gears a little bit. I was actually out in the driveway with my grandson changing oil in his truck. How about that? Passing on the right of, teaching him how to change oil in his truck. He thought that was the coolest thing that ever happened. That he's 17 and was able to do that. But anyway, you don't get to do much with your vehicles anymore. But that was my adventure for today. So I'll say 7-3s to all you guys, and take good care of yourself. And it was a beautiful day here in Utah today. It got up to 60 degrees, sun shining. So I'll pass it over to you, Bill, for DDH and 7DND.
Oh, very good there, Dan, and 7D&D in the group, WA4DDH, and that's good to hear. You know, that's the problem with kids today. They don't know how to do anything like we used to. You know, work on your own car, build your own stuff, repair your bicycles. I mean, I think one of the biggest disservices is schools not having shop class or home ec, any of this kind of stuff. And of course, the cars today, you need a degree in nuclear fission to be able to work on them anyway. But yeah, that's really good to hear, because that's something that is just not happening today. And Sean, I'll get with you on emails and let you know what's going on. But basically, you build a tank circuit like you're doing a transmitter, and you use the same kind of windings as what I did. And but I'll definitely get with you on email and send you the details. Anyway, guys, I've enjoyed it. Dennis, glad you got your antenna fixed. I was wondering if you got everything fixed, and I wonder what freak your dipole's on. But I'll probably catch you tomorrow. At 5 o'clock in the morning, I'll be on the old military radio net, but I should be on the Breakfast Club probably around 6 or so afterwards. Guys, everybody have a good weekend. Enjoyed it. Catch everybody next week. Let me see here. Back to you there, Al. KD2PNR in the group, WA4DDH. Everybody have a good weekend.
Okay, Bill, thank you. Let's see, don't have anything more to add on the radio scene, but I'll throw my 2 cents in on audio as long as we got it. Sean, yeah, you got a serious high-pitch squeal, and your last transmission, it almost sounded like you moved, and it went away, but it was only for a second or so, and then I thought you moved back. So if you're on an HT and you're in a usual place and you moved, maybe that I don't know for sure. I see the comments on the AIM window too. But in any event, you have that. And Dennis and Bill, both of you guys, at least for me, your audio is really nice until you get excited and you raise your voice level and you both go into distortion when you get loud. So, but when you're normal, you're really great. Gary, you sounded great, and Adam is fine. A little bit of noise. A lot of people with a little noise. And Lynn, you are really, really clean, but your audio level is very low. I have to crank the audio up almost to hear you. You're probably half of what everybody is, so you might want to bring that up if you can. Anyway, there's the audio police report for the day. Take it for what it's worth. And don't have too much else to add, so everyone have a great weekend. Enjoy yourselves. I will catch up with you all at some time in the future. In the meantime, I'm off to Adam. N4NT, you got it. KD2P in arms.
Yeah, I don't have too much to add either as far as the radio deal. I've always been a Yaesu person for many, many moons, even before C4 FM, but that just ramped it up even more, and I'm sitting here looking at a whole lot of the Yaesu equipment. But I will remind everybody, we're having a Kids Connection Net tomorrow night at 7 o'clock Eastern Time, and so far I'm going to be the net controller. Now if any kids want to volunteer to do the net control duties, well, I'll certainly yield to them or help them in any way that I can. My son, my 10-year-old, won't be here, so I can't put him on there. But the following week, we've got a little girl that has offered to be the net controller. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but she is 10 years old, and got her name wrote down somewhere. I just can't find my notes. But anyway, so Audrey, that's her name, and she's from Wheeling, West Virginia. So those kids do a really good job. Usually one of them steps up and does the Pledge of Allegiance for us, and all that, and it's really something to hear, and we try to put those out on YouTube. But we also encourage everybody to check in, adults and kids alike, in order to give them a good net and some support and everything. So if you can join us over on the Wires X Room, QSO America, we would certainly appreciate it. And that's my 10 cents worth. And let's see who's after me. K7HAM. I'll turn it over to you. This is N4NT.
Okay, thanks, Adam. I put the iPad off my lap and moved it up. I still don't have a whole lot of audio. I'm using out of the red zone, but we'll see. And Adam, it sounds like you got a fan or something running in the background, a little buzz in the background. Not too terrible, but it sounds like a fan. Not like Don's squeal. I don't know what that is. So other than that, I'll say 7-3. Look for you guys next time. Almost just this time I looked at the box. Oh my goodness. So back up to you, Don. W7AZ2, K7HAM.
Yeah, I'm getting interference from something in here, but I'm using the HG right this second. And looks like we have VK2DY. Robert, go ahead and take your turn before we close this down, and I will check for additional check-ins after you're done.
81HF to say good evening to everyone. Standing by.
This is CDY here, that is in first called Treasure Ridge in the state of New South Wales, and all part of the urban sprawl within Sydney. I'm actually about 40 miles, give or take, from the Opera House and everything else, just under on the bleeding edge of the expansion of Sydney. Beautiful day, ladies and gentlemen. About 80 Fahrenheit, sun is shining, sky is blue, absolutely beautiful spring day today. We had some heat, and then we had some hail, and now we're getting some nice, beautiful spring weather. I'm not sure what that is. I'm pretty sure I'm actually on your Facebook group, but I'm not really sure what this net is. But thanks for taking my judgment. You can CDI, back to net.
Well, thank you for joining us tonight, and your call sign looks so familiar. Now I'm going to have to pull up my logbook, because I am pretty sure I have... Okay, it's been a while. It's been a while since I've logged anything. There we go. my HD's starting getting more and more interference, so hopefully we're good right now. Let's put his call sign in. Maybe not. Oh, man. Obviously. Oh. I've seen you before. I don't know if it's on FT8 or what. So, we also have KD1HF. Go ahead, take it away, sir.
N4.
All right, guys. Yeah, I just got off a Zoom meeting for my club. They went overtime, so that's why I'm wicked late. But hope everybody's doing well and staying safe. KD1HF. Back over to W7AZC. And Nova wants to say hi. That's Nova, my grand girl. So, back over to you, Sean.
All right, thanks, Mike, and hello, and welcome. Glad you were able to key up on the radio. And let me check. I can't get rid of this one screen. It's giving me a headache. I'm trying to get to the right thing here. There we go. And let me check for additional check-ins before we close out the net. Any additional check-ins, please come now. Alright, nothing heard. And with that, don't forget the Easy to Hear Net tomorrow morning at 9:30 Eastern Time on QSO America on the Fusion side. You'll have to be on Fusion, that's FCS 00454, and join the gentleman there on the Easy to Hear Net. This net meets at 0100 ETC, and we do early check-ins a half hour prior. So, with that, I'd like to thank the Friends of Amateur Radio Group and its members to make this room and this net possible. If you are not a member, you can check them out at farg.club. With that, I want to say 73s to everybody. Thank you for participating in the net. And we are closing her down at 0135 ETC. And we'll catch you guys next week on Friday. 73s. This is Whiskey 7, Alpha Zulu Charlie.